We are working on meatballs today. Now, Lucy, earlier I said these were game day meatballs, but you're saying they could be, but they're more so like dinner meatballs.
That's what I was just telling Chelsea. Yes, which, you know,
Right.
you can eat anything while you're watching a game.
That's right.
Yes, we are doing turkey meatballs today.
Got it.
Which my brain is still in back to school.
Right.
And my brain has not shifted to football yet.
I know.
But like y'all were just saying, high school football starts this week. So that's so exciting. Of course, you know, college will start back here soon.
Right.
So you got to eat something while watching football, or you got to eat something before you go to a game.
That's right. This could be good for a Wednesday night or a Friday night or a Saturday for lunch, whatever you want to do. Today we're talking turkey meatballs.
Yes.
It looks like you've got some veggies in here too, Lucy.
Yes, you know, I love to do that hidden veggie spaghetti that I've done on the show, where I blend up any veggie and mix it into the spaghetti, and it's a good way for adults, of course, and kids to get some additional veggies. And so it's kind of the same thing for these meatballs. My kids really like meatballs, and everybody, I don't even have any to show here today because they ate them all last night. So I was like, that's totally fine. If y'all are going to eat them, keep eating them. So what I like to do is I'm just doing a blend of, I just buy baby carrots anyway for the kids. So you could do 2 regular sized carrots or about 20 baby carrots. And again, you can use whatever veggies you want. I'm doing baby carrots.
Yep.
I have about 3 green onions in here and 1 red bell pepper. Some vegetables that work really well are mushrooms, zucchini works really well, spinach, either frozen or fresh spinach, zucchini, did I say zucchini? Really, any vegetable. But the good thing about these was, you know, the red bell pepper and the carrots are, you know, have a little bit of that sweetness, which for the kids is good. But if you are watching your carbs, you know, you could just omit those carrots and sub in, you know, another veggie, since carrots for anybody on low carb is, you know, a little bit high in sugar. But so I'm just going to blend this up. And there we go. And then I like to use, I mean, you can use beef. I'm just going to use turkey today. Because for me, sometimes it's just easier. Like when I'm shopping, it's, you know, just like grab it. I know it's a pound. It's easy to do. And a lot of times, you know, we're using beef in other ways. So sometimes, you know, when you're looking at proteins, I try to kind of balance the ones I'm using during the week. And meatballs is a really good way to use ground turkey.
Sure.
Or you could do the same thing, of course, with to do spaghetti. So once you do these, and you can do it in a blender too if you don't have a food processor, to whatever consistency you like. So we'll just pop this in the bowl, and then the only other things we're going to add is our ground turkey and some seasonings, and we'll be ready to whip them up, and we're going to do them in the muffin tin today. Really easy.
So the muffin tin is interesting. I guess I've always just like balled them up and then put them on a cookie sheet or whatever. But this has got to be so easy, but it also, I'm sure, keeps all of those like juices in while it's baking.
Yes, you're exactly right. And we're going to top it with some tomato sauce and a little bit of cheese, and so everything stays contained. And yes, they stay so nice and moist, and you know, the veggies help them stay moist. So it's just kind of a good way to do it. Last night for the kids, I just gave them the meatballs, and they had, you know, cucumbers and fruit, like and then we had Spiro and I had leftover mashed potatoes, and so I just served them along with that. But you could, of course, do pasta or just have them on their own. So I kind of like it like this. And then, because when I think of meatballs, usually I think like spaghetti and meatballs, but you don't have to necessarily do that. So the flavor, it's a little, you know, since we use the tomato sauce, it kind of reminds you of a traditional spaghetti and meatball, but you could also kind of shift it to go with any other kind of side dish. So kind of versatile.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to this. Again, easy, something you can make for dinner tonight. We will add the turkey in next, and Joe and Lucy will be back in the kitchen with you next.
We are back in the Studio 10 kitchen with our friend Lucy from Greer's. Lucy, turkey meatballs, all the veggies, healthy for you. Hopefully the kids will love them. Lots of good stuff going on.
Yes, my kids gobbled them up last night, all 4 of them, which is unusual.
Did you keep it that, did you blend it more or did you keep it that consistent?
I think it was about like that. Yeah, I
okay.
used so in the first segment, I put about 20 baby carrots, 1 red bell pepper, and a couple green onions in the food processor, or you could use the blender, and I blended it up. And like Joe's saying, you could do it coarser or more fine, whichever, however you want to do it. And then
one time Chelsea had a shepherd's pie and she bit into it and there was a whole carrot in there. we learned that yesterday on the program.
Anyway. I like a blended veggies, Lucy.
Yeah.
I do too. I like things small. I gotta go back and rewatch that.
Yeah.
So now, and we put it in the ground turkey. Of course, you could use beef or chicken or whatever you'd like. I'm just using ground turkey today, so it's 1 pound of that. And we're gonna add a teaspoon of garlic powder and half a teaspoon of dried Italian seasoning. Half a teaspoon of pepper and 1.5 teaspoons of salt and 1 egg. I'm just gonna mix that up, and it will be fairly loose. Like, it's not gonna be very firm, but it's great because, like we said, we're gonna cook them in this muffin tin. So I sprayed the muffin tin, and it's a 12 count. And over the break, Mick, our production man behind the camera, y'all never get to see, was saying, oh, it's like mini meatloaves. And I'm like, it is. And I almost said that. I almost called them that. And when I was, and you'll see, because I'm about to put them in here, because I started yesterday to roll them into meatballs, but then once you put them in here, they kind of, they just kind of spread out and fill it a little bit easier. So it did look like meatloaves. And then when they came out, they, of course, kept their shape. And then I'd already told the kids we were having meatballs. And so then I just stuck with meatballs.
Nice.
So you can call them whatever you want, but y'all see. So we're going to...
Traditionally, meatloaf has breadcrumbs in it. This does not.
That's true.
So maybe that's one of the key differences.
And you can, and you don't really even have to... form them in your hand. We're really just going to go like this. But then, of course, they're going to shrink up a little, and stick together, form together when they cook.
Now, I'm surprised Mick, our camera guy, was interested because usually he only eats things with like 40 grams of sugar in it.
Yeah. Yeah, doesn't Mick eat, is it a honey bun? No. What is it every morning? An Uncrustable. He eats Uncrustables every morning. That's right.
Breakfast of champions.
But Mick likes to cook. Mick likes to eat. So whenever he's interested in something, I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
So we're going to divide that evenly, and then I'm going to go ahead and get them in the oven. So I'm just going to show y'all. So I just have tomato sauce, and we're going to cover these with tomato sauce. And then you could use whatever cheese, but it's easy for me just to do this.
Parmesan,
it's just easy for me to do this. And then we're gonna cook them at 375 for about 25 minutes, and then y'all see what they look like when they come out.
Well, we know that I made the mistake earlier of calling them game day meatballs because that's not what we're going with. But when it comes to game day, high school football this weekend, college football the weekend after that, NFL the weekend after that, things are gearing up. If you want all the big game day fun stuff to get together for your next party, you can get it all at Greer's.
Absolutely. If you don't want to do any shopping, you can of course shop online. We'll do all the hard work for you. You don't even have to come into the store. We'll bring it right out to the car. And then we're going to be gearing up at our St. Louis Street store. We have TVs, big screen. I think we have 4 TVs down inside, and then we'll have our rooftop back open when it cools off. So we'll have TVs up there so you can come and watch the games and just hang out.
So people can hang out and watch the games at the Greer. Yeah, really
Absolutely.
Cool setup because the rooftop, as you mentioned, but if you haven't been there's also this side indoor seating area, and that's where the 4 TVs are going to be? And you're going to have TVs upstairs too?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. So the TVs
See, I'm just
are
learning
there.
all this. This is exciting news.
And we have, of course, beer and wine that you can drink on site. But what people really love is that you can just shop in the store, get anything you want. Pick out a 6-pack. Get a bottle of wine and get whatever groceries you want, or order something out of the kitchen. And if you want to order something out of the kitchen and Katie wants to get something off the salad bar or whatever, then it's all right there. You don't have to just commit to, oh, we were just going to this restaurant with this one type of food.
Well, I'm thinking more about Mick again, right? Because he can go get his beer and then he can get his Uncrustable, and that's like the best game day for him ever. It's unbelievable. All right, turkey meatballs. You can find the recipe on the Studio 10 tab. Don't forget about Greer's and all the locations for your football needs or watch parties, as we just discussed. We're going to continue to work on these in just a bit. Thanks a lot, Lucy.
Thank you.
What's going on, Gulf Coast? Welcome to Studio 10.
I said make yourself useful, not scare us.
I know.
Man, did y'all watch that broom segment?
That was so
That
cool.
was.
That was cool.
It was
I know,
super cool.
yeah.
I think that everybody watching that is super intrigued.
Well, it's just amazing, like that technology back then and now how much it's like changed.
Yeah.
But how it still works.
I know.
Yeah.
I like that. Yes.
We're not making brooms, but we're making meatballs in the
Yep,
kitchen.
we are. We made turkey meatballs. We just pulled them out of the oven, so of course they're steaming hot. But we used our muffin tin, and like we talked about, I'm calling them meatballs, but really they do look like mini meatloaves. So I should probably have just said that. So we're making mini meatloaves, and we pulsed up some veggies in there. We used carrot and red bell pepper and green onions today. You could use any veggies that you like, and we just added it with ground turkey and a few spices, and then we popped them in the muffin tin, and I just spooned some tomato sauce and some Parmesan cheese, and it's a quick bake.
Yeah.
It was $3.75 for 25 minutes, so it comes together really fast. It's something good that the kids could help with, and kind of like what we've been talking about, just trying to get kids to eat. They have their own little piece. What do you think?
Delicious.
You like it?
Yeah, it's really
good.
good. And I do think the kiddos would like it.
Yes.
Really great how everything comes together.
I was just telling
simple.
Joe, like I have to remember sometimes like dinner, not that I make extravagant dinners every night, because let me tell you, sometimes it's a cheeseburger from McDonald's.
Yeah.
But like you can make homemade meals that have all the good stuff, and it doesn't have to take an hour to make or
You're
a big
so
cleanup.
right.
Like
I know,
this is simple.
and I know I've already said it, but that hidden veggie spaghetti, my friend and I were just talking about that. Sometimes like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm like, it didn't even take 5 minutes to get out the food processor, throw some veggies in there, whatever you have in your pantry, in your fridge, and then just throw it in there. So, so you're right. We can make simple things, good things that aren't going to necessarily take an hour to prepare.
Sure.
So,
And it could go with any carb, basically. You could have rice, potatoes, pasta with it.
Yep, absolutely. Like tonight, we're probably just gonna have, I have broccoli in the fridge, so I'm probably just gonna like serve these, serve broccoli and give the kids a little bit of fruit or something, and then it has, and that's it. So it's pretty versatile, so that's good.
So are you mad that I'm eating this one then? Because I'm eating.
Don't eat another one.
I'm eating
Don't
your
eat
family's
another
dinner.
one. No. Jack
So
won't have enough to
horrible.
eat tonight.
Oh man, that is
Joe.
unfortunate.
Thanks.
So rude. Lucy, before we go, football season's gearing up, and you guys obviously have all the good stuff that we need, but also the St. Louis market too. You guys have some fun stuff coming up.
Yes, I was telling y'all, we will definitely be having watch parties. So if you don't follow us on social, of course, Greer's is on social, and the St. Louis market is on there too. So we'll be posting that information, and we also have, our final send off of summer, even though school started, which is Labor Day coming up. So we'll have specials for that, and we can talk about that. And I'll get some football recipes going next week.
Game day recipes.
Game day recipes.
I need game day meatballs this year.
Yeah, that will be in order.
Great stuff, Lucy. The recipe is online.